Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Would like to welcome His Grace Devakinandan Prabhu. Please come. Just this is a Zoom and on-site a hybrid call. So welcome to ISKCON of Silicon Valley, our Wednesday program. And I would like to introduce Devakinandan Prabhu, disciple of Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, is serving as the Zonal Secretary for UP, Rajasthan, Vrindavan, and Mumbai. He is also one of the directors of ISKCON Moscow, a trustee of ISKCON Society, the fundraising and global GVC minister for fundraising development. He is also managing the new ISKCON temple of Sri Radha Madhav in Kanpur, UP, and has started 4 new preaching centers in Rajasthan, Jodhpur, Bikaner, Ajmer, and Bhilwara. So Devakinandan Prabhu is well known for his Srimad Bhagavatam classes, and over the last few years, he has given discourses in cities such as Banaras, Allahabad, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Bikaner, Bhilwara, and Mumbai. He also speaks on the Atma program on the Star Plus and Callers channel. So please welcome him. Give a big Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Thank you very much. So, do you have a stand, Prabhuji, for Prabhuji microphone? Huh? Stand is coming. Yes. Prabhuji, can you do that?
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Kunj Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Vihari Jaya Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjan Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjana Yamuna Chira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Vihari Jaya Jaya Vihari Jaya Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya जन गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare God, very good.
बनाने के लिए था ना, हमारा भाग वो गा दिए जो दूसरा गाना क्लास से पहले राधा माधव होता है। नमामि विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमः। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Also take out chapter 8. Chapter 8, chapter 8. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnavad, Brahman Sivraj Kacha Swan Desh. A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Pramanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. So, I feel like speaking in Hindi, but I know there are many living entities watching on Zoom. So they may not know English, Hindi, especially South Indian. Or non-Indian. Okay. All right. So I am forced to speak in English. We have to follow the law of the land. America means English. Now, yesterday, I was asked to give a topic. So I gave 2 topics, and I asked the person who asked me to give topic to decide which one to speak. One was the supreme occupation of all human beings. Second was to understand Bhagavatam. What is this Bhagavatam? But third one today, after seeing this audience here, looks like Paramatma in my heart, Prabhupada is guiding. I should speak how to become dear to Krishna and end of the life, go back home, back to Godhead. Okay? So I'll speak on this topic. Although I'm ready with everything, but although my wife, good wife, said I should speak about importance of Bhagavatam because this area devotee do Bhagavatam set and all this thing. Because wherever I have been going, I was in Naperville, I did it's not my fault, sorry. This is codeless. Codeless you cannot depend. In India, we have code wala. You can depend at least. Wireless, codeless, all less. Less means finish. So, she asked me I should speak about Bhagavatam, and I was saying that how in Naperville I gave 7 talks, and we distributed around 15 to 20 Bhagavatam set. Then in Vancouver, although there I took Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge started from verse number 60 till 66 Bhagavad Gita. Then in Vancouver, I spoke to classes, and that was Damodar Lila. So we distributed how many? 7, 8? More than 7, 8 set of Bhagavatam. So she said I should speak about this. And as you all know, if you want to be happy, Bali Mardan Prabhu and Rasaraj Prabhu, you have to follow your wife. Otherwise, there will be a problem. There is a nice story of Akbar and Birbal. Once, there are a fight between husband and wife. And finally, the husband had to surrender to his wife. So Akbar asked Birbal, my dear Birbal, you are such an intelligent and Krishna Bhakta and everything. Please tell me, is there not even one person who doesn't listen to his wife? Birbal said, no, my lord. If anybody wants to be happy, they have to listen to their wife. That's the only key. He said, no, there must be somebody. So one day, Akbar called a meeting of the citizen in a big pandal program and made a 2 line. One line says, one who do not follow your wife, come in this line. Other line says, one who follow your wife, come this line. So everybody was coming in that line who said, follow my wife. One person came in this line and Akbar became very happy. See, Birbal, I told you, must be somebody. There is one person. Birbal said, no, my lord, must be some problem. Let's find out from this person. So they asked him that everybody, they asked him, are you literate or no? He said, yes, I'm literate, very much. So did you read what you written? Yes, very much. Then how come you went in that line? He said, when I was coming, my wife said, don't go in the place where there's too much bhid bhadakka, where there's too much crowd. Go where there's no crowd. So I came this side. So Birbal says, see, my lord, everybody have to follow their wife. He also, end of the day, follows his wife. But since my wife is devotee, she will not mind if I don't follow her in this month. So I'm telling her apology indirectly. So yes, I thought different topic, and then I thought, okay, I will do that. And that's again, after seeing all of your face, I thought 2 things, to speak in Hindi and speak this topic. But Bali Mardan is here. Samne. So I have to speak in English because it is being announced that we'll have Khichdi Katha today in the English. Okay. So please repeat after me. This is very, very important sloka from Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8, prayer by Queen Kunti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shramanti Gayan. This is Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8, text number 36. 1:8:36. So take out on your mobile and please keep this verse on mobile till I finish the class. Good. My habit is to go on each word of Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam is a special granth. It's not ordinary. Its name itself, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad means beautiful, and if you separate, it is called Srimad. Sri means filled with. Sri means Srimati Radhika, and Mad means filled with or with Radhika. And Bhagavatam has word Bhagavata. So Bha means Bhasate Prakasate iti Bha. Bha means Prakasate. Like sun is known as Bhaskar. He brings the sunlight. So Bhagavatam is sunlight to dispel ignorance. So Bha. Ga means Gyate Narada Sanakadibhi. The great personality like Narad Muni and Sanakadi, they sing the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Va means Vartante Sarvatra. Bhagavatam is available everywhere. And Ta means Taranti Sarvai Jana. Anyone who hears Bhagavatam, they get delivered from this material world. It's Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami directly by the order of Srimati Radharani. Radharani had one parrot and Krishna had one parrot. Now, both parrots were trained because parrots are parrot. Whatever you train, they will repeat. Nowadays, people keep dog in their house. Earlier, people used to keep parrot in their house. Because parrot means they will keep chanting Hare Krishna also, like we have radio now. Prabhupada whole day is singing. They can also sing like that. So anyway, so the parrot of Radharani, she used to chant only Krishna, 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 Krishna. And the parrot of Krishna used to chant Radha, Radha, Radha. One day, somehow or other, Krishna's parrot went to Radharani. Must have got some extra intelligence that I am chanting every day the name of Radha. So who is that person? Must be something special. By chanting the holy name of Radha, even the parrot, Mukam karoti vachalam pangu lagnate grim, yat kripatamaham mande paramananda madhavam, anybody can do anything. So the parrot also became purified and he went to have darshan of Radharani. And he went and in Radharani took the parrot very nicely and she was pushed, because she recognized this is Krishna's parrot. And she was putting her hand on the parrot. And the parrot was taught only Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. So he kept chanting Radha, 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 Radha. Then Srimati Radhika said, Radha, Krishna Bada, Krishna Bada, Krishna Bada. Radhayam Ma Bada. Because Radharani wanted to hear the name of Krishna. So she said, Krishna Bada, please chant the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Bada, chant the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Bada, chant holy name of Krishna. Radha Yam Ma Bada. Ma means like Ma Suchaha, Ma Bada. Do not chant the holy name of my name, Radha. And that was the initiation of Sukadeva Goswami. So he got initiated by Srimati Radhika. Therefore, in whole Bhagavatam, you will not find ever the name of Srimati Radharani. Because a disciple means Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Karyakya Arana Karyo Maniyasa. Follow as it is. So this parrot was following as it is. I will not go in a story how the same Sukha became Sukadeva Goswami. And since the disciples are always with their Guru, Prabhupada said, I am always with my spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. I am never alone. The disciple is always with his spiritual master. So Sukadeva Goswami is always with Srimati Radharani. And Sri, usually we think Sri means Lakshmi. But Lakshmi is a part of Srimati Radhika. Original Sri is Lakshmi, original Lakshmi is Srimati Radhika. Thus, you will see in whole Bhagavatam in original text. The Sri word have been used only to two personality. One is Sri Sukha Uvacha, not Sri Sukadeva Uvacha. Sri Sukha Uvacha, and other Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Otherwise, no one have been addressed with Sri. In Vasudev, Vasudev Uvacha. Udhava, Udhava Uvacha. Vyasa Uvacha. Narada Uvacha. Nobody has Sri Narada. Of course, in this one, yes, there editing has been done and put Sri Narada Uvacha because you become too emotional a little bit. But in original text of Bhagavatam, you see, the Sri has been used only for two persons. Sri Sukha Uvacha and Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So, Krishna is always with Radharani and Sukadeva Goswami is always with Srimati Radharani. So this is Bhagavatam, this is nectarian. This Bhagavatam is glorification of Krishna by the order of Srimati Radharani. So you'll find the narration in Bhagavatam is mostly about Krishna. Not much about Radharani. Of course, we come to know about Radharani from the Goswamis. Now in Ras Panchadhyay, of course, one word have come. Anaya radhutam nunam Bhagavan Iswaro Hari. So that is from Ras Panchadhyay, when Krishna left all the gopis and he came with Srimati Radhika. And there, when they saw the footprint of Krishna and Srimati Radhika, all the gopis, they understood. And all of them, they became envious of Radharani. Now, don't take this envy as material envy, spiritual competition and envy. That was for the pleasure of the Lord. And the gopis, they had pride and they left. That's why Krishna left. So, in that, they'll say, who is that sarcastic way, fortunate lady that Krishna abandoned us and went with this? Krishna has closest friend known as Lalita. And Radharani closest friend is Visakha. So there are two verses. One is Anaya Radhanunam, and second one talks about the dust of Radharani's feet. So the first verse, because they were sarcastic, that this, Krishna, who cheated us, he called us in the middle of the night, and he left us and gone with this lady. So Lalita could not tolerate. She was upset. Sorry, Visakha was upset. And she said, you know who that lady? She's not ordinary. Anaya Radhita Nunam. Nunam means certainly. And Anaya means Ananya. Radhita, one who worship one-minded way. And look at her worship. Because of her worship, who is Krishna? Bhagavan Iswaro Hari. He is Bhagavan. He is full up with all the opulences. Still he is missing something. And in order to get that missing portion, he had taken this lady. Bhagavan Iswaro. He is the controller of everyone, but he is controlled under this lady. Hari, one who takes away the misery of everyone, but today he is miserable. And this lady is making him happy. So my dear friend, this lady is not ordinary. Nunam, Anaya Radhito Nunam. Certainly, she is one who has worshipped Krishna one-minded. Therefore, he had taken her, abandoned us, and taken her and gone in solitary place. So Radharani has been described only on one place. And that is again, according to, Goswamis, many a sloka in Bhagavatam is Sukadeva Goswami has spoken, some sloka directly he narrated. So this sloka, he narrated what Visakha said. Sukadeva Goswami, altogether, he spoke 25 verses in Bhagavatam from himself, not more than 25. And one verse, all of you know, that when Narsimhadev appeared after Prahlad, he was challenged by his father, is your father in this pillar? He appeared there from the pillar. Lord doesn't have to appear from pillar, he can appear from anywhere. So this was verse by Sukadeva Goswami. That is, Satyam Vidhatu Nijabhitta Bhasitam. This verse is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. And same way, Aho Bakiyam Mastana Kala Kuta, this verse was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, who had heard earlier by the disciple of Vyasdev. Same way, Barha Pidam Natvarbapo Karnayo Karnikaram, the beauty of Krishna was described by this verse is by Sukadeva Goswami. So like that, there are 25 verses. So I'm not going to, I know I told you I'll not talk about Bhagavatam, but I got into. Anyway, so Bhagavatam everywhere is sweet. This is like laddu. Laddu you eat from left, right, up, center. It is sweet. Laddu is sweet. So Bhagavatam is sweet. Whether you start Janamadasya Turnyadharta Charte Sabigya Swarat, or you go toward the end, Nama Sankirtanam Jasya, Sarvapapa Prananasanam, each word, Sukadeva Goswami and Valmiki are only two personalities. Sorry, Vyasdev and Valmiki are only two personalities after Sukadeva Goswami. Sorry, Vyasdev and Valmiki are only two personalities who have not spoken even extra word. They have not written extra word. So in Bhagavatam, each word is balanced, not extra word. And each word is for pleasure of Krishna. In Padma Purana, he said, Ashloka, ardhyapi, yatra, gayati, srayati, tatra virajate bhagavan, Krishna, ballavi bhi virajate, tatra bhagavan Krishna, ballavi bhi virajate. Where they were, there is one word or one sloka or even half a sloka, a slok ardha is spoken there. Tatrarpir bhagavan Krishna, ballavi bhi virajate. If it is spoken by a person who has taste in Bhagavatam, not professional, not for money, but for giving Krishna to other, Tatrarpir Bhagavan Krishna, ballavi bhi virajate. Prabhupada spoke Bhagavatam, even one word. In the Western country, we all are Indian. At least we have some culture. Who is Krishna, who is Rama? Just remember those hippies who didn't know who is Krishna, who is Rama. Prabhupada words were also not like American pronunciation. If you hear the tapes of 66 or 67, maybe 70, 72 after, his pronunciation changed. And I'm sure when you all came from India here, you have Indian English. But now you got American English. I mean, I have a brother, a leader of Arkansas. His son, till few years back, he was speaking totally, Indian English. But now he has become Pakka American. Even I have a hard time to understand what he's talking. So fast he talks and Pakka American English. So Prabhupada also spoke simple thing, the language problem, everything. But his each word was purified by Krishna. Tatrarpir Bhagavan Krishna ballavi bhi virajate. Krishna is approving if it is spoken by a pure devotee about the pleasure of Krishna. So this is Bhagavatam. Now, as I said, I will take this sloka. So I want to go back. So you can repeat once. 1:8:36. Srimanti gayanta grananta abhikšnasa smaranti nandanti tavehitam jana taeva pasyanti achirena tavaka bhava pravaho paramam padambhujam. So I will read the translation and purport. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet. How to see Krishna, I said, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. Now purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be seen by our present conditional vision. In order to see him, one had to change his present vision by developing different conditions of life full of a spontaneous love of Godhead. When Sri Krishna was personally present on the face of the globe, not everyone could see him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Materialistic like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kansa, Jarasandha, and Sisupal were highly qualified personalities. By acquisition of material asset, but they were unable to appreciate the presence of the Lord. Therefore, even though the Lord may be present before our eyes, it is not possible to see him unless we have the necessary vision. This necessary qualification is developed by the process of devotional service only, beginning with hearing about the Lord from the right source. Very important. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the popular literatures which are generally heard, chanted, repeated, etc. by the people in general. But in spite of such hearing, etc., sometime in the experience, sometime it is experienced that the performer of such devotional service does not see the Lord eye to eye. The reason is that the first item, Sravanam, is very important. If hearing is from a right source, it acts very quickly. Generally, people hear from unauthorized person. Such unauthorized persons may be very learned by academic qualification, but because they do not follow the principle of devotional service, hearing from them becomes a sheer waste of time. Sometimes the texts are interpreted fashionably to suit their own purpose. Therefore, first one should select a competent and bona fide speaker and then hear from him. When the hearing process is perfect and complete, the other process becomes automatically perfect in their own way. Now there is one more paragraph which you all can read later on. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurjinmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanand. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschadestarane. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Vasadi Gaur Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So first I will go on each verse, then I will go on each word. So the first line said, Sravanti, Gayanti, Granti, Avikshunasa. If somebody hears, chants, remembers, how? Avikshunasa, constantly. Granti means gungunana. Gungunana का इंग्लिश क्या होगा? Murmuring? Humming. Okay, humming. That's good. The good. I am also learning some American English. Okay. Humming. How? He said, Avikshunasa. Every moment. This had to go on every moment. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kirtaniye Sada Hari. And then, Asmaranti Nandanti Tave Hitam Jana. Other thing, when we do these three process, hearing, chanting, and humming, like B, like that. So, but it's humming is not a good word. The B does not open the mouth, right? Humming has to be in mind, right? तो गणयंती, okay, वो गुणानुवाद करना उसका होता है. अभिक्ष्णसा, always, then automatically smaranti, remembers on the Lord and pastime come. And if we cannot do that, and if somebody else is doing, and be joyful, nandanti, tavehitam jana. When he devotee tava ita jana, oh my Lord, when you're a devotee, they chant this kind of thing, then other takes pleasure, Tava, tava ihita means pastime. Tava ihitam jana. When somebody else is glorifying you and one becomes very joyful, is other qualification. To become, I said there are two things I will talk. One thing I will talk about how to become dear to Krishna, and other how to go back home, back to Godhead. These two things I said. So how to become dear to Krishna is one thing, hearing, chanting, and murmuring. And this way, we will remember Krishna all the time. And how? Abhichnasa, always. And if you cannot do all these things, but if somebody else doing, nandanti tava ihite jana, if somebody else is chanting also, and you become very joyful. Or second thing is that tava ihite jana, the devotee of the Lord, they always take pleasure in doing all these things. Ta eva pasyanti achirena tavaka. One hand, abhichnasa. Abhichnasa means all the time. If you do that thing full time, then ta means that person who does this thing. Eva means certainly. Pasyanti, he will see you. How? Achirena, immediately. And other thing, he will become tavaka. He becomes your. Just like when Krishna was sending Uddhava to go to Braj and talk to the gopis, and in that Uddhava Sandesh, the word has come Tavaka. Who are these gopi? Tavaka Anam. They are my people. Tavaka. And how to become Tavaka? The meaning Tavaka, to become Krishna, means manmanaska. There are two words, manmanabhava. Krishna says manmanabhava madbhakta, right? But the gopi, they were manmanaska. Manmanaska means their mind is in me. My mind is in them. Or their mind is in me and my mind in, one cannot live without it. So there are three meanings of manmanaska. Their mind is with me. Second, my mind is with them. And third, both of us, our mind is for each other. They are called Tavaka. So our mind is not there. Krishna said, Man mana bhava. Engage your mind in me. But they were already engaged. Tavaka. And say, Bhava pravaho. If they become Tavaka, if they become dear, and say, Bhava pravaho paramam padam bhujam. Bhava means this material world. Birth, death, old age, and disease. And pravaha means current. Their current of birth, death, old age, and disease. Bhava pravaho paramam. They will go other side. Where they will go? Padam bhujam. They will go at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How many of you have gone to Haridwar? Very good. You have taken bath in Har Ki Padi? Right? Did you hold the chain? Or you took bath without chain, holding chain? So if you hold the chain and take bath, you'll come out safely. But if you leave the chain and try to take bath, you'll get free ticket for Bay of Bengal. So long you'll be holding, you will cross over. So what is this chain? This Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. The chain also have three. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Keep holding always if you want to cross over. Now this prayer is by Mother Kunti. I mean, this whole prayer is for 7 days Katha, I usually do. Mother Kunti is not ordinary lady. Kunti has a life filled with miseries. She had 3 lives. Rajkumari Kunti, Maharani Kunti, and Rajmata Kunti. And if you hear her life from childhood till she left this planet, was filled with only miseries. When she was merely 5 or 6-year-old girl, one day she went to palace garden with her maid servant, and she was playing. And it was evening time. For playing time for children is mostly evening time. So once, her maid servant, she was having something in her hand, and she was very joyful, and she was very happy. And she said, Rajkumari, Rajkumari, I got something. So Kunti thought something, she is smiling, she is happy, and she is, very happy. So when she brought, she saw in her hand, there was a Ajata Paksha, a bird, a small bird, which has no even wing, right? Ajat Pakha, she has no wing. A small, newly born baby. And evening time, we will see the bird, as Dhritarashtra said, how he is lamenting that Ajata Paksha Iyomatara Khaga. In evening time, the small bird, they come out upon the nest. They wait for the mother when mother is coming. And this bird has fallen down. And this maid servant was holding. And Kunti, as soon as she took it, she felt the warmness from her. And she saw that how this small bird is trembling. Kunti became so angry to the maid servant. And she looked around, nobody was there. So finally, she went to palace. And Maharaj Sursen had just come back from hunting, from Mrigaya. And along with him was Kunti Bhoj. So Kunti first time saw Kunti Bhoj. Her name was Pritha. So Pritha first time saw Kunti Bhoj. She could not say anything because unknown person is there. How can she, say a small girl, and she was feeling shy. Then Maharaj Sursen understood something is there. By time to evening time. So he said, come on, beta, tell what happened. And Maharaj, Kunti Bhoj also encouraged. Then she showed this bird and said, my dear father, she has been separated from her mother. You are the king. You are the ruler. You are protector of the citizen. This bird is also your citizen. Please take her back to her mother. Maharaj Sursen said, my dear daughter, all the servants are gone. You take this bird and let her sleep with you. And tomorrow morning when servants come, I will take it. And Kunti kept crying. Pritha kept crying. And then when Maharaj Kunti Bhoj saw her, he couldn't take her cry. So he said, all right, give it to me. I will, take it. But he was a guest. So guest had to be treated like guest. So Maharaj Sursen went with Kunti Bhoj and Pritha to where the bird had fallen. So immediately he took out his uttariya, he tied here, and he climbed. I mean, Kunti Bhoj was going to climb, but he said, no, I will climb. Because the king were trained for everything those days. Walking bare feet, doing everything, even climbing on the tree. Even nowadays also in military, they train all these things. So he climbed the tree to keep that. And when they keep the bird in the nest, when he came down, Kunti asked him, did you put her in her nest? He said, yes. What is the proof? There are many other, her sister and brothers were there. So Kunti pacified. And that day, she made up her mind. From now on, I will follow my father as it is. He was a king, but she forced him to come to do this thing. And he said, henceforth, I will not do. And sure enough, after 13 years, from 6 to 13, I'm jumping. There are so many things are there, but I want to cover everything. He said, I have to finish by 8:30, right? So when she was 13 years, again Kunti Bhoj came. And that day, they had gone for Mrigaya, and they could not kill, they could not hunt anything. So Kunti Bhoj was very morose, and he was feeling dejected. So Sursen asked him, what happened? Don't worry if we didn't got any, we didn't do any Mrigaya, didn't got any Sikar, then tomorrow again eat there. He said, no, I am not feeling morose or dejected because of this thing. But I feel that I have no any children, no issue. What life I am leading, for what? If I cannot give citizen, the Rajkumar, then why should I lead a life? No, actually, this was before Pritha was born. Actually, this happened before. And that time, Kunti Maharaj, Sursen promised Kunti Bhoj that whatever child I will give, my first child, I'll give to you. So Maharaj Sursen has 10 sons and 5 daughters. And first child was Pritha. She was the eldest. Second was Vasudeva. So after 13 years, when again he came, then one day, just like that, they were playing, and Kunti became familiar with Kunti Bhoj, and Pritha again. Pritha became familiar with Kunti Bhoj and everything. And then, all of a sudden, he said, that day, he said, now we are going to, Bhojpur. Bhojpur is, where is Bhojpur? Anybody knows from India? Where? Madhya Pradesh. Bhopal. Kunti Bhoj palace was there, kingdom was there. Bihar is the Chhauni tha unka, Bhojpur, where I am from, Bhojpuri they speak, Buxar, Ara, that was, a special Chhauni up to Balia, that whole area. So anyway, so Bhojpur, and then they asked Pritha, okay, you also come with us. Maharaj Sursen asked, come on, let's accompany, we are going. She said, let me talk to Maisa Ma. Her mother name was Maisa. She said, let me talk to Maisa Ma. Let me tell her that I am going. He said, nothing doing, just you come. Now she had promised in her mind that she will not disobey her father. So she came. And after staying for some time, Maharaj Sursen said that I have to go now. So Pritha was very happy that because she was feeling bored. In the whole palace, there were only maid servant. And nobody else was there. And Pritha, she was feeling bored. So when he was leaving, she wanted to come with. And he said, no, you have to stay here. And immediately, she said, but she couldn't understand why. Immediately he cut finger, blood came, put tilak to her, and he started walking. And she was running behind him. Said, Father, what did I do wrong? If you don't like me, just leave me in Mathura, in the street. I'll beg and live on begging. But why are you leaving me here? I don't like here. He didn't look at her, and I just took a chariot and run. And she kept running, trying to call. Kunti Bhoj, when he saw that, he said, all right, your father fulfilled his promise. He had promised me once that he will give his first child. But I am also Kshatriya. I cannot see you crying. Come on, I will take you to Mathura. He said, no, I have no desire to go to Mathura. I just wanted to give some chin for my mother that I am here and I'm okay, nothing else. So he took the ring and he ran, on chariot and gave the ring and came back. So this way Pritha was staying there. And every time, whenever Kunti Bhoj called her Pritha, she came, but as soon as he called her Pritha, she identified with Mathura. Because she was known Pritha is Mathura. And Pritha could see that he is not very happy. Kunti Bhoj could see that she is not happy. So she would see that calling Pritha is not feeling comfortable. So she herself came to offer something and she said, my dear father, Dattak, आपकी दत्तक पुत्री कुंती आपको ये अर्पण कर रही है. Your Dattak, adopted daughter Kunti. So Kunti gave her name herself. From Kunti Bhoj to Kunti. She gave the name. So he does not feel uncomfortable. So now, this is terrible for a small child, 13-year-old child. And then after that, Durvasa Muni came. And Durvasa Muni wanted to perform a kind of yajna that he wanted to conquer over these all 8 elements of creation. Bhumira Panlavayu Kammano Buddhirevacha Ahankaram Itime Vinna Prakriti Ashtadha. It is Ashtadha from Krishna. It is given to Brahma, so he wanted to hold it, to create. Durvasa is different kind of person. So he wanted to do yajna. And those days, the young girl were appointed to serve the sadhus, whoever sadhus come. Like when Arjun went to Dwarika as a sadhu, Subhadra was appointed to serve him. So same way, Kunti was appointed. And Durvasa, we say, Chanamapi tustam, Chanamapi rustam. You don't know when he'll become angry and when he'll become happy. So Kunti could not be sleep in night because his yajna was going 24 hours a day. And, she had to serve him on time. And if you don't bring on time, he's doing yajna, he will not take. Become cold, he will shout at her, scream at her. Her life became hellish. So one point she thought, I should just give up. I said, sir, get out from here. And like that. She was a child, so just, she thought. But then said, no, my father had told me to take care of him. So she served him. And when his yajna was finished and he got all these 8 elements under his control, and he was very happy and he kept laughing. Kunti couldn't understand that he had gone mad. Sometimes he would shout, sometimes he would laugh, like that. So then he was going, he didn't say anything to Kunti. He just walked out. And then finally he said, Kunti, come here. I'll give you a bone. He didn't say that you ask for a bone. He said, I will give you a bone. And that bone will be that you can invoke any demigod and you'll have a child from that demigod. Because Durvasa could see what is her future, what will happen to her. So Durvasa walked out and Kunti was very curious and, and she was very excited about this mantra and all this thing. And she didn't tell her servant or anybody. And one day, when sun was, coming out, such a beautiful sun that day, just like Purnima in Kartik, you see Purnima, Sarad Purnima, same at that time the sun comes one day in a year, such a huge gland, red hot. So when she saw sun, automatically she wanted to test the mantra, and she invoked the mantra, and then she became pregnant. And then eventually she had to abandon her child. Now can you imagine? Kunti was not the mother like today who is ready to do abortion. She delivered the child, first child. She had to give up. And then I'm cutting short because then after some time, she got married to Maharaj Pandu. And after Maharaj Pandu got married, if you get some position, then don't eat and sleep on that position. You got to do something extra to show that I have done. If you become temple president or anything, don't maintain temple. Maintenance is not enough. This is also good. But do something extra than maintenance. So Maharaj Pandu had the kingdom of his father, and he wanted to do something else. And that he wanted to become Samrat. His father was not Samrat. Chitrangat was not Samrat. So he wanted to become Samrat. So for becoming Samrat, he had to get all the kings under his thumb. So he went for Visvavijay. And then from Madri Naresh, he got his daughter, Madri. First, after marriage, he left. No Suhagrat. What is called Suhagrat? After marriage, they go, where they go? Honeymoon. No honeymoon for Maharaj Pandu. He went for fighting. And when he comes back, he brought one south. One step wife, right? Step wife, no? South ke liye. Co-wife. Which wife will be happy if your husband brings a co-wife? Anybody? Any Mataji? Will you happy? Don't say to me because you want to say. But I'm sure nobody will be happy. What do you think Kunti must have been thinking? But Prabhupada said, think out of box. That's what Kunti did. He said, I have two things. Either I can argue with my husband. She didn't even know her husband, first time. And they say, what she saw? Brought a co-wife. Should I fight or serve? Of course, you are Dwapar Yug, not Kali Yug. So she said, okay, if this makes my husband happy, so it be. Immediately, she accepted Madri as her younger sister. And history repeats, they had no difference at all between Madri and Kunti. And then you all know how Maharaj Pandu died. They have no issue or anything. How this Pandavas came. I told you the misery of Rajkumari Kunti. After marriage, she became Maharani Kunti. And she became a widow. In a young age, without any children, she became a widow. But all the 5 sons were bought by the order of Maharaj Pandu, one way. So they are as good as a son. Prabhupada in Bhagavatam, when Prabhupada talks about initiation, when Vasudev transformed Krishna through his mind to Devaki. In Gopal Champu, Goswami describes how Nand Baba saw the dream of Krishna. And Jashoda also saw the dream. And then how they transfer. They're called initiation. The Prabhupada said that there are 2 kinds of son. One by the order of husband, another by semen. And then disciple are also son one way, by the order. So this way, they have 5 sons. And this rascal Duryodhan, he never accepted Pandavas as the cousin. And therefore, always he fought. He never accepted. He insulted Kunti many times. That they are not son of my uncle. He went and he brought from some, they may be son of demigod, who cares? Because the Rishi had told. So I am Uttradhikari or Kururaj, none of your son. Even he told to Bhishma Pitama, And Bhishma Pitama said, my dear Duryodhan, you know who? What to say about you? Even your father is not right heir of Kuru dynasty. If anybody, that's me. Because Dhritarashtra and Pandu were born, from Vyasdev. They were not from Kurubans. The Vyasdev. So if Vyasdev children can be, if you think that you are the, Uttradhikari, then why not Pandava? Vyasdev here, the demigod. What is wrong in that? So anyway, this goes on like that. So Maharaj Kunti had all this time, even Maharani Kunti, she had a problem. She had to witness the roping of, unroping of the chir, sari of Draupadi. And what not? Mother Kunti in her prayer says, Bisan Mahagne Purusha Adarsanat Asasabhayam Banamasa Krichate Mirde Neka Mahasato. See how she had to suffer all these things. She remembering all these things. But she said, my Lord, you loved me more than even Devaki. Devaki, in front of her, 6 sons were killed. Forget it. You were burned. It took 14 years. It took 14 years to kill Kansa. But for me, I had 5 sons. I had someone to protect me. But still, I had no husband. And you protected me all the time. So Krishna is the protector of all his devotees. That we should have firm faith. And then, after Mahabharata war, when she was Rajmata, she became, Rajmata Kunti. And the last day, after Maharaj Yudhishthira was crowned as, king, and how they went to Bhishma Pitama and everything. And when they came back, then they had to do Pitri Tarpana, offering water to their forefathers. So when Yudhishthira offered to everyone, but Karna. So what to do? So Kunti asked Yudhishthira to offer water for Karna also. And Yudhishthira was surprised. He said, why should I offer water for Karna? His Sutaputra. And Kunti cried. He said, no. She is first Pandava. And only 3 people knew the secret. Only 3 people knew. Kunti herself, Pitama Bhishma, or Vyasdev. And then Kunti finally disclosed that how Karna is her first child. Yudhishthira, he's a different kind of king. Sukadeva Goswami talks about Maharaj Yudhishthira. Apipala dharma raja pitrivat taranjana prabhu nispriha sarvakame bhyo Krishna padanu sevaya. This is qualification of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Apipala dharma raja. No matter how much pain was there, he never felt pain. He took the pain of the citizen himself. Apipala dharma raja. Pitrivat taranjana prabhu. A president, a leader had to be how? Pitrivat, like a father for his citizen. So Maharaj Yudhishthira was Pitrivat Ranjana Prabhu. He wanted to see all his citizens always happy, smiling. And he was like father for the, the citizen. Nispriha sarvakame bhyo. He had no spriha, he had no hankering, he had no desire for anything. And Yudhishthira told to Kunti, if you would have told me first day, he was lamenting that why did I become king? If I would have known that he was first Pandu, I would have handed over the kingdom to him. There's no fight, no question of fight. Why everybody was killed? This is all your fault. And then Yudhishthira cursed her. that from now on I curse that no woman can hide anything. Dharmaraj cursed. So she had to hear the curse of her own son, Dharmaraj. So till she died, her life was painful. But in all situations, she saw only Krishna. Therefore, she was happily saying, Vipada santu tasasya tatra tatra jagat guru. She always wanted, vipatti. None of us want vipatti. None of us want misery. We go to temple and we pray, Dhan sampatti gharaya jai jagdish hare. Nobody say vipatti gharaya jai jagdish hare. And in history of mankind, Kunti is the first lady who prays. Although we know, dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare, tu kahe ko ho. But look at Kunti. If he chant, if he remember the Lord in distress, so that distress become sadhan. In Brihad Bhagavatamrit, Hanuman, when Narad Muni was going to find out who is the pure devotee, then he went to everybody. Then he went to Hanuman. Oh, you are such a Prahlad told about Hanuman. And Hanuman, oh, such a great devotee, this thing. Hanuman got angry to Narad. He said, who told you that I am great devotee? You don't know. The Pandavas are the greatest devotee. The Lord goes to. And then Hanuman closed his eyes and he started talking about Pandava. Bho Pandava. Oh Pandava, what have you done to my Supreme Lord? What you have done? What kind of mantra you have done? What you have fed to him that he cannot live without seeing you all. And whenever there's no opportunity, he simply sends some miseries and then he comes running behind. So those miseries are sadhana of the Pandavas. Misery, Mother Kunti and Pandavas, they made misery as sadhan. And Ji Goswami said, when misery comes in our life, we should never be disturbed. A step over. If you are climbing on the first floor, then you have many steps, right? So make the misery a step for going back home, back to God. There's a nice story. Once there was a washerman and he had an old donkey and he became blind. The washerman had very little land and there was one well in the land and well was dried. So one day the donkey fell in the well and he started crying for help. So the washerman thought, oh, very good, he fell in well. He came running and after some time, when donkey saw nobody helping, and he kept mum, what can I do? Then all the villagers came. He called everybody. He said, oh, my donkey died. Because earlier, everybody had the butter system. Come and help me, I will help you, like that. I don't know if now or not, but earlier, when we had marriage in house, whole village used to come. Puri belne ke liye, sabji banane ke liye, right? We have nobody to hire. Now we have to hire the cooks to come and cook. But now, those didn't know cooks. Everybody was helping. So all the villagers came and they got the dirt and they started throwing the dirt in the well. So this donkey thought, I thought I was asking for help. They're going to kill me. So as soon as they put the dirt, he just severed his head like this, his body. Dirt went down. Again they put, again he did. Dirt went down. So one point, what happened? To everybody's surprise, well was filled with the dirt and donkey came up. So to learn from this instruction is in our life, Maya will keep throwing dirt to us in form of misery. And what you have to do? Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. And then you will see. That's what Mother Kunti have been talking here. This is what she is saying. Bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. So Prabhupada has given us this chanting opportunity to hear, Shravanti Gayanti. And if you do two things, keep in mind, the ear is first sense which start working, and ear is first sense which stop working even after our death, till the body is burned. Not even till the body is burned, till you get a new life. When somebody die, when a child, when we become grown up, if any sense started working, that was ear. If your mother calls from something, you look. Your father calls, you look. Somebody else calls, no. Child doesn't see. So ear. Even when we die, people say, Ram Naam Satya hai. Bolo kam se kaam aayega baad mein. Ram Naam. Do they chant for themselves? They chant for the dead person so that he can hear. And even after he dies, according to Shastra, Jamrat takes 1 minute. That comes 13 days. Not for Vaishnava, but ordinary people. It takes 13 days. 30 days description, you read Bhagavad Gita, have Kirtan. People need to write Ram, 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 right? Everything. Why? Because that soul is moving around there. So this ear is very important. The children go to school, not to read, but to hear. Reading you can do at home, but hearing. Knowledge comes from hearing. From eyes, it goes till mind. From ear, it goes to heart. Brain and heart. So hearing is very important. Sravanti, Gayanti, and whatever we hear, we chant. And you keep chanting and hearing and murmuring, then certainly Asmaranti will be remembering the Lord. And at time of death, we will be remembering. That's the goal of life. Janmalabha parapunsa antaha narayana smati. Jo antmati sogati. Antakale chamameva smaran uktva kalevaram. So this is a very nice process Prabhupada has given to us. Simple process. Hear Bhagavad Katha and chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And enjoy. Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. Said, Nandanti tave itam jana. The people who chant and read, chant and dance and hear, Nandanti, they are joyful. The one who is not joyful is one who is not chanting and dancing. I always said, Maya ke das, sada udas. Or Krishna ke das, bindas. One who is servant of Maya, they are always udas. I do this thing, I do this, and do this thing. But one who is servant of Krishna, udas means sad. Maya ke das, sada udas. One who is servant of Maya, they're always sad and they're planning what to do. But Krishna ke das, bindas. Just like a small child. You're a small child, is bindas. He doesn't have to worry. He knows my father is there, my mother is there. Where from school fee will come, where from cloth will come, dress will come. He doesn't have to worry. So bindas. Krishna says, I provide. Anannas chintayanto maam jana pripaste tesam nitya vijuktanam yoga sema vahamima. I don't supply, I bring. So Krishna will maintain us and we become taeva pastyanti achirena tavaka. Now, of course, time is short, but pastyanti does not mean the Lord will come see in front of you. No. Not Lord will come, but he can come also. But you will see Lord in every atom. Everywhere. Because Krishna is everywhere. I said in Bhagavad Gita, Raso hamap sukandeya, prabhasmi sasurjayo. When you drink water, taste in water. Then you know that this is Krishna. Prabhasmi surjaya. When you see the sun rays or moon rays, you know this is Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, first we should become conscious and then we will become Krishna conscious. So first become conscious, and that conscious, becoming conscious means to understand that I am not this body. To know is one thing, and understand. And how to understand? Shravanti, Kayanti Granti. Avichnasa. Keep chanting, always chant and be happy. Nandanti. Tayeva Pasyanti Achirenatavaka. Then you can see the Lord every moment, everywhere. And end of the life, Bhava Pravaho Paramam Badam Bhujam. He'll go back home, back to Godhead. So this is very, very sweet of Mother Kunti prayer. Prabhupada always chanted. He chanted. Mostly in Los Angeles, in his room, when he was free. Free means he was already engaged. But translating, he used to walk up and down and chant. Namaste Purusham Twadam Iswara Prakriti Para Alaksham Sarvabhutanam Antar Bahir Avastita. Everyone should memorize all the Kunti prayer and chant. We chant so many extra things like, this Purushottam month, right? Everybody chanting, 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita. No need of doing all those things. Prabhupada, you look at folio. Did Prabhupada talk anywhere Purushottam month? Why you need to add something? But Prabhupada did. He chanted and he told devotees to chant. He told Giraj Swami the last time to chant. Chant Bhagavatam Sloka, that's much better. Let us not add something new. Let us keep what Prabhupada has given. Prabhupada said, what I have given, just maintain it. Otherwise, by adding, you will spoil everything. So let's not spoil. Just maintain it as it is. All right. So I will stop here. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So any question anybody has? Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Like very inspiring to see. Like whenever I see you, like I see someone like who is following Prabhupada, like to the very full stop in his instruction. And also you gave this example of like Sukadeva Goswami. I didn't know this pastime. Like I knew the Sukadeva Goswami was parrot, but how, like why he did not take the name of Radharani, that was also instruction in which he followed. So one question, Prabhuji, like you are like following it and like I've seen you. So sometime like the instructions, they like they are meant to be followed, but like sometimes it feel that like to the contemporary world, like if we don't do it, like what's the, for example, like chanting Panchatattva mantra, you said that don't chant like Chaitanya Nityananda, like during the Mangalarti.
Oh, very good.
And you talk about like Nasimha Arti. Like I've been in the Kanpur, so I have seen you like emphasizing on that. So I just wanted to know like what is the boundary where we say that like what our spiritual master, what Prabhupada had said, like follow it, and where we can be.
Now ISKCON is coming out with Kirtan standard. GBC is coming out. If you want, I have copy, part of that, so I can send you. I think there are two things. One is do what Prabhupada did. You one thing. We also learn by something Anukaran, not everything Anukaran, and follow what he said. So if you hear Prabhupada tape of Kirtan, did he chant anywhere Chaitanya, Nityananda? Did he chant anywhere? No. Did he say anywhere that he should do that? No. Our process is Sravanam, Kirtanam. If a leader is singing, you hear. And when he sings, leader hear. That is, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this is the way to be happy. Machita madagata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tusyanti cha ramanti cha. This is the process. Why do we need something extra? Because we have no taste in this thing. Therefore, we need other thing. Why we need? Prabhupada said, I have given everything for you to go back home, back to Godhead. We don't have much time. Why are we wasting time in adding new thing? We don't need to add new thing. This looks like it is called inferiority complex, something that you are missing. I was just in Seattle, and one Haribilas Prabhu disciple, he was driving me to airport, and he kept calling Haribilas Maharaj, Haribilas Maharaj, Haribilas Maharaj. I said, why do you call him Maharaj? In ISKCON, I have heard only two people are called Maharaj. One is sannyasi and one is king. So is Haribilas Prabhu king or sannyasi? Something lacking that you need to add? Did Prabhupada say? No. So why to add something new? Why don't we stay in the boundary what Prabhupada has given? We don't need anything else. It's a foolish mentality that people say, oh, we are not ready to, we will not understand Bhagavatam and Gita, Prabhupada what given. Or a hippie understood, why can't you understand? They all excuse to do some notanki. In drama, they do some in India, and notanki. I call it notanki. Just stick to Prabhupada. Prabhupada started as it is moment. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Prasadam as it is. Bhagavatam as it is. Everything as it is. Just do as it is. Don't need to add anything. You will not lack it. Not that you will not go back to Godhead. Don't add. Rather, if you add, that you are doing aparad. Keep it what is simple. Keep life simple. Anybody else any question?
Zoom. Prabhuji. Anybody likes to? You can unmute yourself and ask question, right? We don't see any Zoom screen. From the online, anyone would like to share anything?
Is there anybody in Zoom or not, first of all?
Yeah. There are some. Can you ask?
Yes.
Bhishma Dev, Vyas Bhagavan knows, right, about Kunti's son, Karna.
Yes.
How they know? How they know? Like,
Vyas, he knows past, present, and
yeah,
future.
Vyas knows, but Bhishma.
Krishna knew past, present, future.
Yeah.
And the sages, when they came with the 5 Pandavas, they told to Bhishma about 5 Pandavas and Karna.
That is before, or he knows from the beginning?
Right from beginning. Yes.
But why he didn't reveal to anyone?
That is the symptom of, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the qualification of devotee is described. And one is Abhyartha Kalam, Pachinta kya hai? Yeah, one who maintains secret. You are my assistant, you should know all these things. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shloka, that Abhyartha Kala, start, they don't waste their time. They are Gambhira and they keep the secret. So Vishnu Pitama is one of the Mahajan. If he start broadcasting, then what is difference between him and ordinary people? Devotees should be Gambhir. 26 quality of devotees. See 26 quality. One quality is that Maunam, I think Maunam or something like that. Grave. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Indian, I know if one person had to ask, then others will ask. In American, in between class also they will ask.
Thank you, Prabhu. This is such a wonderful session. I heard your class for the first time. It is so nectarian, so touching, and very, very enlightening. And so many pastimes you told about Kunti Maharani that I never heard from anyone. Thank you so much for coming here and enlightening us. My question, Prabhu, is
thank to Rasraj, Prabhu and him.
Thank you, Balimardan Prabhu and Rasraj Prabhu. Hari Bol.
I came here 10 years back. That's what Besasiki Prabhu told me when we were talking today. He told to me. He told me 10 years. Okay.
please, we also request to, you to come often, Prabhu.
Yes, if I have a customer, I'll go to sell my product. There's no customer.
Prabhu, listening Bhagavad Katha from you, it's you would have read and relished Bhagavatam. So, as aspiring readers of Bhagavatam, how should we read? With what mode we should read? How many hours? And what should be the process?
Well, first and foremost is hearing. Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. So I suggest everyone, please hear at least minimum one lecture of Prabhupada. When you hear one lecture of Prabhupada, then you develop taste in Prabhupada. Taste in Prabhupada. You will start loving Prabhupada. Now we say we love Prabhupada, but not really. So real love comes when you hear from some person and you know him. So when you hear from Prabhupada, the tape, this is non-different. Jasomathinandan Prabhu used to say that this Bhagavatam, Prabhupada said, I didn't write. This is not my writing. I spoke. This is my lecture. This Bhagavatam is, he spoke on dictaphone. So this is Prabhupada's lecture, just like I am speaking on this Zoom, right? So Prabhupada, those days spoke on dictaphone. And so you are reading Bhagavatam, hearing from Prabhupada. But in order to come on that platform to understand that thing, first you hear one Prabhupada tape. One thing. This is one thing. Second thing, you do part. In India, actually those days, 70s, 80s, devotee to do part. We have sloka card, right? And we to write sloka. And then it depends on different person memories. Sometimes 2, 3, 4 sloka card and memorize it, keep it. Again, 3, 4, memorize it. And when whole Bhagavad Gita is done, then you chant from first to last chapter. This is one way to do. Other way, just chant, one chapter. When I became devotee under the guidance of Radha Govind Maharaj, was Radha Govind Prabhu those days. So he became devotee in 74. And when he came to village, his village, my village is hardly 6 kilometers, not much. And one of his nephew was my classmate. And we were very close friend. And that year, 75 January, this flood came. Big flood came that time. So he came from his village, I went from my village, and we met one point. So he said, come on, let us go to my house. I said, come on, yaar. In village, I just put gamcha or lungi. So he said, no, don't worry, my clothes is there, let's go. So we went there. And thing attracted me was dancing in Sandhya Aarti. And every day we have Bhagavatam class. And we do, one chapter per day. And before I joined ISKCON, I knew whole Bhagavad Gita by heart. And up to third canto of Bhagavatam, I knew also a sloka by heart. And then how to study, you can get help from commentary of Goswami's. A little bit Sanskrit, Vallabhacharya's commentary is very good. Prabhupada quotes many places. Of course, sometimes devotee become too fanatic. Mahaprabhu said in joking, when he said that I don't accept Sridhar Swami, then said one who don't accept Swami, he is a prostitute. And that was two friends joking, but we took it like, a big thing. I mean, that way, if you go, Sridhar Swami is from Shankar Sampradaya, he's not from Vaishnava Sampradaya. But Prabhupada quotes Sridhar Swami commentary everywhere. So Vallabhacharya's commentary and Bir Raghav Goswami, these two commentary are very, very good. And if Prabhupada quotes all the commentary here. Sridhar Swami, Jiva Goswami, they are more of like, sutra way. But Vishwanath Vallabhacharya, Biragha Goswami, three commentaries are very easy to flow. So I'm not saying do that. It is there in Bhagavatam. So best thing, you take one sloka. You first understand the meaning of a sloka. And then you read the explanation from Prabhupada. Prabhupada has explained everything in the purport. Not like nowadays, you take a sloka here in San Francisco and talk about Washington. No, not like that. You take a sloka, stick to a sloka. So even understanding, you can understand everything. Like, okay, Srivanti. So find out where are the Srivanti in Shastra. Bring together everything. Gayanti. Where are this? And what happened there? What happened here? Navada Bhakti there. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pasevanam, Achanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Everything is there. Out of that, 3 are here. So like that. And you must believe or be convinced that Bhagavatam is none different from Krishna. Krishna has appeared in form of Bhagavatam. The first canto and second canto is these 2 feet of Krishna. Third canto and fourth canto are thigh of Krishna. Fifth canto is the navel of Krishna. Seventh and eighth canto is 2 hands. 5, 6 and 7 is this. Eighth canto is chest or heart. Ninth canto, the throat. 10th canto, the forehead. Here, face. 11th canto is lalat, this one. And 12th canto, give me that, my mobile. It's the sloka from Padma Purana about, here it said, Padau jadiyo prathama ditiyo, pratham और द्वितीय जो है पाद, तृतीय चतुर्थो कथितो यदुरु, यदुरु जंगा, तीसरा चौथा, नाभि तथा पंचम एव, नाभि पंचम, षष्ठो भुजांतर, 6th and 7th are 2 hands, दो जुगम 2 hands, तथान्यो कंठस्तु राजन नवमो यदीयो, the 9th canto is the throat, मुखारविंदम दशमम प्रफुल्लम, and face is the 10th canto, एकादशो यस ललाटपट्टम, and this 11th canto is the forehead, शिरोपि यद्वादश एव भाति, and forehead is 12th canto, नमामि देवं करुणानिधानं तमालवर्णं सुहितावतारं अपार संसार समुद्र सेतु भजामहे भागवतं स्वरूपम्. I bow down to the Lord, the ocean of mercy, whose color is like that of Tamal sea, and who appears in this world for the welfare of all. I worship him at the bridge or the crossing the unfathomable ocean of material existence. Srimad Bhagavatam has appeared as his very self. This Bhagavatam, out of 6 questions, one of the questions was asked by sage of Nami Saranya, Dharma kam saranam gata. Krishna sadhama pagate dharma kam sarana gata. When Krishna left the planet, he went to back home, Goloka Vrindavan. Where did dharma go? Because he the propounder of dharma. Dharma to sakshat bhagavat pranita. What happened? Like when you switch off the light, then darkness comes. So where did the light go? Where dharma go? And then Krishna appeared as Bhagavatam. And if you see Srimad Bhagavatam, where Bhagavad Gita ends, Bhagavatam starts. Mana pratijya mamekam saranam braja. So real dharma is mamekam saranam braja, taking shelter of Krishna. Dharma. But give up all the religion And Bhagavatam start, Dharmaha projita kaita otra paramo nirmasaranam sata pedam vastavamatra vastu sevadam tapatrayona moolanam Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krite Kimva pare Rishwara. Kimva pare Rishwara. What is the use of any other scripture than Bhagavatam? There said Dharmana Pariteja. And he said, what is Dharma? Why should he give Dharma? He said, Kaitava. Because this Dharma of Dharma Artha Kam Moksha, this is cheating religion. Give that. Projita. Prakishna Upena Ujita. Jad se kabar do. Take out from the root. So it doesn't again purify. Dharma projita kaitava atra. Atra means in this material world. Paramaha. This is the Vedam Vastava Matru. Sivadam. This is real knowledge which will bring a species Sivadam. Vedam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapatrayono Moolanam. We all are suffering with Daihik, Bhautik Tap. It will eradicate, clean. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krite Kimva Paririshwara. What use is there for anything else? Just have taste. Believe me, if anybody will have taste in reading Bhagavatam, you will not feel like eating, sleeping, having sex, or doing anything what people feel pleasure in material world. Bhagavatam has so much pleasure, so much pleasure. Otherwise, why Sukadeva Goswami had to tell Parikshit, come on, you must be very hungry. And he said, no, this hunger and thirst is not disturbing me because I am hearing nectarian pastime from your lotus mouth. Bhagavatam is, and same is available here today. Prabhupada has given to us. Prabhupada had tasted Bhagavatam. And he gave to us so kindly. So please read Bhagavatam. Everyone should develop the taste of reading Bhagavatam.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Can you please pray for all of us, give your blessings so that we can read Bhagavatam and get the taste?
I can only pray to Srila Prabhupada, and yes, and I'm sure Prabhupada will accept our prayer because we want to understand, I want to get taste. And if you want to have taste, Krishna will bring all the facility. I know devotees here, they like to distribute Bhagavatam, which is very good. But more than distributing is, if you distribute, but if you read it nicely, understand and distribute, that will be much greater joy you will feel. Right now, you are distributing book because Prabhu inspire, somebody else gave an inspirational class on Bhagavatam and this thing. It's okay. But if you read yourself and get the taste, so as a Vaishnava janato tene ka ye jo pir padayo jani re. Paradukha dukhi. You like to go and distribute. And this is what happened in Prabhupada time. Prabhupada time, we all read page to page. And thus, if you see the old devotee, even they have book, but still they have some books and they go out and distribute. Because they got a taste. So if you read it, you'll get taste. Prabhupada, in Chaitanya Charitamrita in Madhya Leela, it was the last chapter, he said, one become healthy and happy by eating the food. But one become eternally happy, blissful by tasting the nectarian pastime. And in proper Prabhupada said, all the devotees connected to Krishna consciousness movement must read the book which have been translated, such as Nectar of Devotion, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc., etc. Otherwise, you will simply waste your life in eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. Thus, you will lose the greatest opportunity of going back home, back to Godhead. The Prabhupada word. So we should read. Please read. All right. Everyone.
Hare Krishna. Namaste
Let me see. I
Narsimhaya.
hope no mark on my.
Prahlad Lad Dayine.
Sit down.
Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Shilatanka Nakhalaye. Ito Nisingha Parato Nisingha. Jata Jata Yami Tato Nisingha. Bahir Nisingha Hridaye Nisingha. Narsinhamading Sharanang Prapade. Tava Kara Kamala Bhare Nakam Adbhuta Shringham Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshabdrito Narahari Rupo Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare. Keshabdrita Narahari Rupo Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Kesh Jaya Nrsimhadev, 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 Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. निसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की, गौर प्रेमानंदे।